Hello friends, welcome to engineering tutorial. So here we'll be discussing another interesting question on the concept of vectors. So here the question is that find a unit vector which is perpendicular to the vectors A vector given as 3i cap plus j cap plus 2k cap and B vector given as 2i cap minus 2j cap plus 4k cap. This is the question. Now, if you are a beginner to this whole vectors concept, you are just getting started with it, you will be, first of all confused when you see this question. Yes. Now, the first thing to pinpoint here, to understand here, is which concept we have to apply related to vectors. Now, dot product or cross product or whatever concept we have learned up to this point, which we can apply. So here, if you remember the basic definition of all the concepts, the basic definition and expression and the meaning of all the symbols, the notations that we have used, then you will understand it that okay, this concept will be applicable here. So let us see the basic definition of cross product. Okay, cross product or vector product. It says that if there are two vectors, okay, B vector and A vector, and let's say they are restricted to a particular plane. They are restricted in a particular plane. Let's call it the XY plane. Okay, let's just suppose they're restricted in that plane and the angle between them is theta. It is directed from A vector to B vector. Then as per the right hand thumb rule, the direction of the resultant vector will be perpendicular to the XY plane and it will be upwards. Okay, this. Now here, please pay attention here. The resultant vector C vector is perpendicular to the XY plane. So in other words, we can also say that C vector is perpendicular to both A vector and B vector. Why? Because A vector and B vector, they are confined to the XY plane. They are restricted to this XY plane. So C vector will be perpendicular to both A vector and B vector. What is C vector? That is the cross product of A vector and B vector. Okay? Which is represented as A vector modulus, B vector modulus, sine theta, n cap, where n cap is the unit vector perpendicular to both the vectors in the direction perpendicular to A vector and B vector in the direction of C vector. This is the whole point of this question. This. So the point here is to identify, okay, this is from cross product. So directly it has not been asked in this question. It is asked to test your concepts, to test your understanding of the concepts. Okay. So now first of all we have to find out the cross product of the vectors. So the cross product of vectors A vector cross B vector will be I cap, J cap, K cap, the components X, Y and Z, 3, 1, 2 for A vector, 3, 1, 2 for A vector, and for B vector it is 2, minus 2, 4. Okay, 2, minus 2 and 4. Okay. So we have to evaluate the determinant. It will be I cap 4 1 into 4 minus 2 into 2, which is 4 minus 4, then minus j cap into 12, 3 into 4, that is 12, minus 2 into 2, which is 4, this 2 into 2, 3 into 4 minus 2 into 2, then plus k cap 3 into minus 2, that is minus 6, minus 2 into 1, which is minus 2. So it is 4 minus 4, which is 4 plus 4, which is 8I cap, minus 12 minus 4 is 8, minus j into 8, which is minus 8j cap, and here it is minus 8k cap. This is the resultant vector C vector. This is the resultant vector C vector, which is A vector cross B vector. Now the unit vector, the basic definition of unit vector for any vector, okay, the unit vector for any vector V is given by V vector by V vector modulus. That is the basic definition of unit vector, and V vector and V cap, whatever it is. So here the unit vector in the direction of C will be C vector by C vector modulus, or A vector cross B vector by A vector cross B vector modulus. So here it is 8I cap minus 8j cap minus 8k cap divided by the modulus, which is 8 square plus minus 8 square plus minus 8 square. Okay, this. So that will be equal to, let us calculate, 8 square plus 8 square. Okay, so there will be 8I cap, let us just pull it a little bit downwards, 8I cap minus 8j cap minus 8k cap divided by 8 root 3. So here it will be 8 common, I cap minus j cap minus k cap by 8 root 3. 8 cancelled. It will be I cap minus j cap minus k cap divided by root 3. This is the unit vector in the direction of the resultant C vector, which is perpendicular to both A vector and B vector. Okay, so this was the question here. It was a little bit tricky, so you have to understand that it is basically the application of cross product or vector product. Okay, this was the whole point of this question, to test indirectly your concepts related to